Hello, 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 everyone. How are you? Hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful day, and may peace be upon you. Thank you for joining this podcast. Yes, I can. The secrets to mind, body, and business success with me, your host, Dr. Azeeza Jamil. And today I have the beautiful, the inspiring, the like one of the most visionary people that I have met, Dr. Azeeza, and she is joining me live all the way from Singapore. Welcome, Dr. Azeeza.
Thank you, Dr. Izdihar. Thank you for the opportunity to be on your channel.
Thank you so much. And for those of you who don't know Dr. Azeeza, she is one of the co-founder of GoGLOBAL Spark, and she is also an entrepreneur and a business accelerator. And she has moved and created her company from being a homemaker to raising $500,000 for her company. And her company is an internationally and globally available company that have helped many, many people around the world to be successful. So congratulations on your success, first and foremost, Dr. Azeeza.
Thank you so much. That was very kind of you, all the kind words you've spoken about me. And it's always inspiring to see other women who are inspiration talk about inspiration, being inspiring.
Thank you. And Dr. Azeeza met, was it last year, Dr. Azeeza, or was it the year before? It was the year before or something like that. We met when we went last year, 2019.
Yes.
Okay, so we met in 2019, like early 2019, before everything circuit breaks. But we met in 2019. We went to like a training seminar together here in California, and then it was the first day. I remember, I'm like, can I go to lunch with you? Because I was at my own. And she had to say, well, can I go to lunch with you? And then we went to have a pizza. And that's how our friendship and our relationship started. So she treated me to a pizza, which is very, very kind of her. And we've always been in each other's sphere. And that's something that's important, isn't it? That's what business is about. You start off by creating relationship. I mean, we didn't jump in straight to business or anything. We just started off hanging out, having pizza, and then we shared that little cereal pudding thing, because we were hungry. And that's how kind of business started. And when as we work with, as we in each other's sphere, that's how trust started, and collaboration started. By the way, Dr. Azeeza and I were working on a collaboration project for her companies. What was the name of the title again, Dr. Azeeza?
The Conscious Global Business.
That's it. We're working on
a business leader.
That's it, business leader for conscious entrepreneurs, this business secrets. So Dr. Azeeza, that is going to come out really soon, which we're really excited about. But I wanted to kind of focus on the incredible thing that you have created, from being a homemaker to owning a company. Not only that, raised $500,000 in the process as part of the funds for your business. So first of all, why on earth did you want to jump into entrepreneurship from among like anything else? What made you kind of like have that jump start?
Well, to be honest with you, I was all about learning and researching. In 2001, being in a job in an MNC company, it's an American firm, and I was enticed to the idea of entrepreneurship, looking at multi-level marketing companies. And I was like, wow, this is so cool, all the dreams they built for you. And it sounded really cool. But what really shifted was when I went through a transformational program in 2002. And that really shifted the why in me. So it really got me to think about, why am I in this world? And they shared a very deep conversation about business, and how business is about that adding value and not just about money. So this is where the whole dynamic shifted. And I was there sitting down, of course, my children were very small then. I was asking myself, what is it that I must be doing for my community or my country? So that's how it all started.
Oh, that's amazing. So it's just you going to a training or seminar, sitting there, and suddenly, the sign was brought into you, the sign or whatever it is that you want to call it, kind of like,
Maybe I should give you a little bit of deep context to it. Because I'm Chinese educated,
right.
I speak Chinese. So
Yes.
I was in the classroom in the Chinese program. So
Right.
there I was, the only non-Chinese sitting down there among all Chinese, and I was taking my notes in Chinese and a little bit of English. So it was really deep work for me at that time. So it was me asking that, then it makes sense to you to ask myself, what am I doing amidst this Chinese community, and what is it that I have to bring back to the rest of the world from the Chinese community? That is the conversation that really triggered me to go into this dynamics of looking at what is possible for me. Yes.
That's amazing. So you went off to a training, a program, and then that kind of like, sometimes you just don't know, right? You're meant to be in that place, and suddenly you're meant to see certain things or certain signs or things or people being shown to you. And I think like that's a really important clue to your success, is that you're kind of like being open about it. Like some people, they're just like closed off, isn't it? But you're like being open about it. Oh, why am I here? What can I offer? Oh, business is about value, not just profits, 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 kind of thing. That's
Profit has to show up, right? When we give people
absolutely
profit shows up. I mean, money shows up.
brilliant. So once you've discovered that epiphany of, okay, what is my why? What can I offer to the community? What was the next thing that happened that kind of made you realize that, all right, this is the thing that needs to happen before I can have this?
Right. So it's very interesting you're asking this question. So it's like a whole process. There was so many stuff that went on in me because, they say, be careful what you ask for. So here I was declaring something that big, the Chinese community, what am I supposed to bring back for the rest of the world?
Right.
So here am I being put through all the things that I need to go through to prepare myself for it. So it was relationship breakdown, health breakdown, finance breakdown, you name it. I was going through like literally everything, suicidal, depression, anything you say, it was really chaotic. So that process really made me go deeper into my own self-discovery. And it's, as we talked about it, there were many a time I was very blessed to have mentors, people that was there with me to hold my hand, to say that everything is okay, we're going to go through this together. So the community, that's why I believe so much in community and camaraderie, and the power of relationship is so important. So that was the moment that, I was able to go through. So it took a while, almost, it was after 8 years, in 2010, exactly 10 years before this, right? Before,
Yes.
right, 10 years ago, I went through this realization, what exactly I was supposed to be doing. And that was working with the training, coaching, mentoring community, supporting them with the next level of growth. And that became the forte for me. And that really opened my doors and to whatever that was possible. And so I started traveling to Malaysia, and Singapore was again, I'm born Singaporean, right?
Yes.
So I started traveling to India, which I didn't go after, even though my parents come from India, I go there to visit families. That was like really rare. But this time, in 2010, I started traveling for business, and that really, really opened a lot of doors. So that's, so fast forward right now, it's that vision that we hold about uplifting business community in Asia, working with trainers, coaches, and mentors across the world.
That's absolutely incredible. So you had your vision in 2001 and kind of like went through a period of like really, really scary, and the things that, that you never thought is going to come, to that level. And it must be really scary. But one thing that you mentioned, Dr. Azeeza, was that it's a process that you needed to go through to kind of like get where you are today. So I just want to kind of touch that part a little bit for anybody who's listening, who's going through something similar or a challenge in your life. What would be kind of your wisdom in sharing how can people survive that? And I will jump back into the business side.
Sure, no problem. I think that is the work that I do, being an alignment mentor. I see very big picture, but there were times where I couldn't see the details. So I was this person who was talking big picture all the time, and I was never taken seriously. It's like, Azeeza talks big picture, and then what? So there was nothing.
There was a gap. Yes.
Yeah. So it took a while for me to even build that gap, really ground myself and come into my body to move it. When you ask me that question, I realized that every person's life is an evolving space. And if I'm showing you, it's evolving upwards.
Yes.
So we may look like we are coming back to square one. Have you had that feeling? Like, I thought I had this.
Exactly. We're back to ground zero again.
Yeah. But you will notice that you are no longer that same person at ground zero. You feel like you're back to square one, but you are not that same person that 1 minute ago even. So we are evolving at every second of our life. So we need to acknowledge that part of us. So the scale is like that. So if the graph is up, down, up, down. So that's the way the graph goes. So there will be a dip every time you're going to take a plunge. And a growth happens. We call it the growth spurt, right? So that kind of a conversation, it is very, very natural. And when we are able to understand that part of human spirit, that we can never experience love if we don't experience fear. We never can experience, you've heard of this, we can never experience joy if we don't know what is sadness. So that's the kind of duality and dichotomy that we all live in. And we can really embrace that part of life. I feel that every day is a joyful moment, and we can live through any condition without any, with strength. My mentors call me the Russian doll syndrome, It's like, put me down, I'll come back again, and sometimes bigger and brighter. So it doesn't matter to me, because people talk about having a balanced life. I believe a life bigger than me. So I'm no longer in my control. I'm not in control. My vision is in control of me. It's taken over me. So that's the kind of spirit I feel when we find our mission, our life's calling, you will just be able to pass through any phase in life.
I think that's a beautiful wisdom that anybody can take, and kind of like first acknowledging and accepting that it's part of the process, and whatever it is meant for you to go through that process as you go upwards. Because like you said, even though you think it's like you're like digging the ground more, right? It's actually who you are now isn't the same as who you are before. And it's a process to take you upwards. As you go up, there's always going to be a dip, and then you go up again. There's always going to be a dip, and you go. Because what did I say? Like the breakdown is the access to breakthrough, or like with every hardship and difficulty, there will be ease and goodness. So it's kind of like part of the process. For anybody that is listening, just allow that to happen. Be accepting to it. You can't, like, resistance is only gonna push you and make things harder, but allow for things to happen. I know it's not easy to say, isn't it?
I was gonna say that, hi, Azeeza, did you have this wisdom when you were going through it?
But from someone who has gone through it,
Right now, I do, like when I'm feeling like something is like go back. I know that this too shall pass. We get into that space. But those times when I was going through what I was going through, and I was not in that conscious space, it was torment for me. It's like I still remember many such situations. So of course that takes time. I want to refer to the context of metamorphosis. So how a caterpillar dies for a butterfly to emerge. So you know how decay and mashed up it is. So that's the process of life. So that's where I feel that we can relate to and move forward with more strength, and the rainbow, the tunnel, the light is at the end of the tunnel, all those things.
Absolutely. And just acknowledge that it's part of the process. just flow with it, even though it's hard, even though it's difficult, just flow with it. And one thing Dr. Azeeza mentioned, that she's got people around her, community, mentors, coaches, people that are gonna support you. Like
Ask for support is the most important thing.
absolutely, people are gonna support you and kind of like kick your bum when you need to, give you a hug when you need to, you know, bring you food when you need to, you know, those kind of, you want to have that support and create that. And then one of the things that Dr. Azeeza said, that kind of like fast forwarding a few years now, one of the things that's driven her is her vision and her goals, kind of thing. So I'm assuming that's one of the main thing that kind of like catapults you from being a homemaker to raising $500,000 for your company, Dr. Azeeza?
Yeah, so the process is a very different conversation. Why I want to raise funds for my company, that's the question everybody would want to know. So my company is on a roadmap for listing, and with Almighty's grace, with God willing, it should happen within the 2 years. What we have done is to replicate the Silicon Valley model. So fundraising is not done for the sake of wanting money, but for the work of valuation. So we are not a technology company. We are a hardcore training company, a business school. And initially when I raised funds, it was always on the space of vision sharing, because I stood for a very strong vision of uniting people in Asia, the Chinese, the Indians, and the Malays coming together as one community. You know that covers 3 major countries: Indonesia, Malaysia, India, and China. So it's like these
and
3
Singapore.
countries.
Yeah.
Singapore is the hub. I'm there. So I am there, like the hub. Like I'm in Singapore, and so my business with my business partner in the last 2 years, we took a bamboo shoot effect. Remember, I told you I was like flying up there with a vision, but I was not grounded with a clear structure and strategy. So when the structure and strategy came in, fundraising was made even more easy, and that's why we are a limited company. So I came from a partnership to a private limited. Now it's a limited company, with shares, with shareholders that come in as customers and turn into shareholders. That's what we do to our relationships with our people. So with customers that come in, they see the value in our products and our services, they choose to invest in our business. So we have shareholders from Singapore, Malaysia, India, Mauritius, the Chinese chambers, different organization leaders, they see value in us, and even the stock exchange in India, they work with us as well. So we have a very different dynamics of work while being in the training, coaching, mentoring industry. So if I'm going to speak this to, it kind of sounds like alien, right? Because the training industry don't understand this dynamic. Someone to earn $1 million is a big deal. Here I am telling you I'm building a $500 million market cap, which means I just want everybody to tune into one thing. What made this woman from a homemaker to even dream of that number? Forget about me doing that first.
Exactly.
To dream of, to think of, to plan out, to structure out the kind of numbers is because of the kind of vision that I hold. And some other time we can tell, I will tell you why we are listing. There is a higher calling around it. But most importantly, the takeaway I would love everyone to have while listening to me is anything and everything is possible when we set our mind to it. And the limitations are only set by us. So usually it's the mind game and the real personal growth that we need to have to allow more inputs to come into us and allow us to grow. Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. So kind of like you went through what you went through, and then as a result, you're finding a niche, which is in the training, coaching, consultancy kind of work line. And then from there, having the vision, obviously starting from there, you kind of have the bigger vision. This is what you're wanting, like uniting this community of, when I say community, it isn't just 10 people. It's like the whole kind of Southeast Asia.
We are very clear. We're looking at business people coming together and growing together, expanding their market. That's why we are a Go Global. And when I talk about trainers, coaches, mentors, I'm talking about really accelerating them. If they are in the business of coaching and training, we support them to take a business to the next level. I mean, if a homemaker can think of a $500 million business, I'm sure a trainer or a coach, we can support them a $10 million or $100 million business growth direction. So we have very structured format for people to grow together with us.
That's amazing. So kind of like the acceleration of things, isn't it? That's what, like all the 2000, so about 20 years, 20 years since 2001, 2002, right? What you have learned in that 20, almost 20 years, you kind of help entrepreneurs, consultants, trainers, coaches to accelerate their business. And like Dr. Azeeza was saying, like if anything that you can take away, that it starts with your vision. What is it you're wanting? Because it's like the mind is the biggest trickster of all, isn't it, Dr. Azeeza? It's always kind of like, oh no, this is going to happen, something that, oh no, you're not going to, you know, there's always something kind of like the noises kind of that pulls us down. But you touch something really important there, in the sense that in terms of capability, that we've already got it. Like you've got your vision, it's within you. The only person that's in the way is you. You've already got it. It's just the, like, you know, I've heard the saying is that, you know, everybody have the 10 out of 10 capability. It's just the stuff, the noises, the shit that we went through that we have to work through for us to like, to allow the input or the capacity to come through.
That's right. That's right. You know, when you say that, it is also about our human spirit, the inner, what do you call the sabotage that we create in ourselves.
Right, the self-sabotaging?
It's not only in the mind, it is also the belief systems that we call it DNA. That's what I do in my alignment sessions, where we go deep into the DNA, the kind of belief system that runs in the family, ancestral healings that can happen for us to break through. Because you can see me, I'm dressed like this, and I speak Chinese, and my parents come from India, so I'm really you know, I have belief systems picked up from across Asia. So this is kind of chaotic. So I did go through a lot of breaking of belief systems. So we can really open the heart, the mind, and the will to go into a deeper clarity in ourselves as a business person. Then we can take forth the journey, which is also very much lacking many a time in the training coaching industry. I've been there. So I'm speaking as someone who's been there. Not that I'm pointing out at anybody else, but I've been there. So I want to support others come across. And definitely, this is not a one-man job. Being a limited company, I have my shareholders, my business partner, Mr. Ayupadas, and myself. Both of us run the business as major stakeholders. And then we have a whole bunch of partners from Singapore, Malaysia, US. So it's a good group of us working together in the company.
That's beautiful. So if I can wrap up, like what I want to kind of share today is like a shift, right? How do you move from point A to point B, regardless of that point A to point B is. But one of the things that have helped you tremendously be successful is that one, you just have to go through what you have to go through. It's part of this process. And then second is having your why and having your vision and discovering your niche. And then third is like, you know, getting connected with this incredible people, like attracting this amazing people that is in alignment with your purpose. And then having like a vision that's gonna kind of inspire you and move you.
That's one very, very important thing that goes to wrap up everything. The commitment to see it through. I feel that is the ultimate, like, you know, delay is not denial. I believe that. People will say otherwise. If there is the delay, it's denial. But I believe that delay is not denial. It's just a matter of time. So commitment to see it through, no matter how long it takes. Imagine Jack Ma. He took 15 years, more than 15 years, to list his company, even though, you know, he promised his staff it'll happen this year, next year, that kind of thing. So delay doesn't mean it's denial. So the commitment to see it through has always been the force for me. And that's why my mentors and my relationships, they really love working with me, because they know that I'm all the way, you know, if it's said, it'll be done. And that's the kind of progress I've been making. And I'm very grateful, and I really, really appreciate your time, Dr. Azeeza, for arranging for this interview with me. Thank you so much for that.
It is my pleasure. Thank you so much, Dr. Azeeza. So just wanted to let everybody know that Dr. Azeeza offers coaching sessions. So if you want to have a chat with her, you want to find out about business acceleration, about alignment, about, you know, any part of business or mindset work, she's gonna drop her link, or I'm gonna drop her link after this over here, down here, and then that you can access it, so that you can go and have a chat with Dr. Azeeza. I think Dr. Azeeza is a free consultation, right? That you always have like a,
we call it a free 30 minutes business acceleration consultation. We'll give you a checklist and you'll go through the process. We'll cover business model innovation, the kind of, you know, structure you have in your business, and open you up for greater picture of who you want to be.
Absolutely. So that's awesome. Make sure you grab a chance to, at the very least, have a chat with Dr. Azeeza. She's awesome. If you're in Singapore, you're lucky she might take you for a pizza like she did for me. I don't know what Singapore is now with all the lockdown, but still, just if anything, if you have an ink of curiosity, if you have a vision, or if you have something that tells you, right, this is probably something for me. Like, you know, this is when she was sitting in the seminar, she was open to the signs. So just go and have a chat with her. So Dr. Azeeza, let's leave today with what is something fun that people don't know about you?
I love dancing, even though many of my friends know I love dancing, but I dance no matter, as long there is music, I'll start dancing. And I don't care where I am. And at home especially, you know, I dance a lot. But even when there's nobody, I just love dancing. And that's crazy dance.
Oh, it's like the Hollywood, you know, the dance.
No, all kind of dance. I don't want to.
There you go. We'll never know. She might have a YouTube channel on her dancing really soon, darling. So for those of you who are listening, but there you go. Thank you so much, Dr. Azeeza, for joining me today. And I just also wanted to acknowledge her partner, AD. I call him AD, but I just wanted to acknowledge her partner for AD is one of those people that he is very, very oriented, isn't he? He's gonna keep you down. He's gonna like not keep you down. I mean, like ground you, kind of make you focus. And it's like, okay, that is like, you know, let's do this, and you know, that's it. It's done. He's one of those people, and also very, very supportive and gracious and generous too. So I just wanted to acknowledge AD, hopefully when he gets to see this. So for those of you who are watching, thank you so much for watching and listening. Until the next time, from me, Dr. Azeeza Jamil from Yes I Can podcast, The Secrets to Mind, Body and Business Success. So thank you so much, Dr. Azeeza. Let's say bye and may peace be upon you. Bye.